I gotta say, I found Marvel Zombies to be pretty impressive. After the underwhelmingness that was What If, I think this is something that definitely works a lot better with what it tries to do. What If, I mean, this is essentially a spin-off of What If, particularly of the What If Zombies episodes, which I do think is one of the better episodes, so it's not totally surprising that it was able to kind of, rise above the overall quality of that series. But this works very well. I think we still get the animation, which is a bit janky, stilted, and the designs just kind of look off, where it's this kind of weird middle ground between being kind of animated but also kind of realistic too. I get the appeal of making these things animated where, you have these smaller, shorter stories where you don't necessarily have to get all the original actors to play them, and there's a little more freedom with it, and you have also the ability to kind of distinguish it as being a separate universe from the MCU while still, keeping a lot of the same characters. It's not in that 616 universe, but a lot of, characters and stuff look the same, so you have that way to give it its own distinct look by making it animated. And I think this does, succeeds well with the way it tells the story and the characters. We see these characters who we've known before, characters like Kamala Khan, like Shang-Chi. But you do find yourself really getting an attachment to these characters in the situation and what we're going through. I think the biggest strength of these 4 episodes that we get here are the endings, which, particularly with the second, third, and fourth and final episode, they all have these really strong, gut-punching, levels of emotion to them. I suppose I won't spoil it, but with a lot of these endings, we spent these time during the episodes kind of getting attachment to the characters and what's going on with them. We get these very interesting kind of twists. I think with the third episode, there's this really interesting twist where it goes in this direction of what you didn't see coming. And it feels just like a slap in the face, but it is also believable. And you can kind of see the point of view of the other people who aren't the main characters as well with this whole thing. And the final episode ends on this cliffhanger, which is another really strong gut-punch moment. You have Kamala making this choice of something where she thinks she's not sure if she's doing the right thing, but she decides to do it anyway. And at first it seems okay, but it's kind of not going to be quite what she thinks it is. And that ending moment is like, wow. But it does end on this cliffhanger, and I do wonder, are we going to see it continue anywhere? I think, though, whatever we do get with this, maybe story in the future, that it's supposedly just a mini-series, and I feel like they did all the episodes at once, so we're not necessarily getting more. But, yeah, I gotta say, I found myself really emotionally invested in this, and I'd be curious to see a continuation of this kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe, like a what-if episode? I don't know, but it's good.